What's going on, guys? It's Kelton Under Pressure. A lot of y'all been asking me here lately, like, if I've got any tips on getting commercial contracts. So, I made the video the other day talking about commercial gigs and, kind of the pros and cons on them. So I'm not even going to call them tips. I'm just going to say this is what I've done. So, is it going to be great advice? Nah, probably not. But it's worked. So, honestly, what it comes down to is it just comes down to persistence. The way that I've picked up my contracts, let's see, I have one of the contracts I have, one of the restaurants I have, it's a little mom and pop type deal. So I have that one, and it's on a quarterly basis. This was actually probably the first commercial contract that I got. It's only like $185 just to clean the sidewalks. But I mean, it's just sidewalks. Literally takes me like less than an hour to do. $185. And the way I got that is literally just by going in and talking to one of the managers, just introducing myself and giving them a business card. And believe it or not, that's kind of how I got most of them. But that's the benefit of doing like commercial stuff or trying to get those commercial jobs is, I have a small, I'm not gonna say like this big law enforcement guy, but I have a small, very brief 1-year stint. I served my time as a police officer, but just from that little experience in law enforcement, I will say this: whenever it comes to somebody coming up to my house, if I'm trying to go door knocking, doing door-to-door, door hangers and flyers and stuff like that, like, you've got to have a really good reason to be walking up to my front door. I've got a really long driveway, so if you're just out walking around and you walk up to my front door, like, I'm immediately just put off, unless you just look the part. You better have on some really nice clothes. If you're gonna come that length of my sidewalk and my driveway up to my front door, and you're gonna sit there and knock on it, especially if I'm not home, don't come to my front door. So there's a reasonable expectation of privacy there. But when it comes to restaurants and commercial business and stuff like that expectation is gone. You have a reason to be there. So, I mean, you're expected to be and see and all that. So it's just understood and it's comfortable for you to be in those settings, so if you're there and you're asking for a manager and stuff like that, it's a lot more relaxed. It's a much more relaxed environment. So that's why I went for doing the commercial stuff, and it's just easier in my opinion. And maybe that's the lazy approach. I don't do near as much door knocking and stuff like that just because I don't feel comfortable going to people's doors, because I wouldn't want somebody coming up to my door, regardless of how you're dressed. Still, it's still kind of uncomfortable because you never know what somebody's intentions are. But again, if you walk into a restaurant, you're supposed to walk into that restaurant. You're asking for a manager, it's just expected. There's a reasonable expectation there. So really, like, the restaurants that I have, really was just like handing out business cards. It's just, while I was eating in there, I'd hand out a business card, or I would ask to talk to the manager and just introduce myself. Just make sure you look nice when you go in and do that. Like, don't be out washing all day long and then you just look a hot mess, and then all of a sudden you come in and you're just dirty and nasty, and then you're asking for it. Granted, it shows that you're out there doing the work. Still, just try to be presentable. And even, like, again, it might be lazy, but drive-thrus. When you're going to these restaurants, you can go through the drive-thru, hand them your debit card, hand them a business card. Just do it at the same time. Just slip it to them, because they'll sit there and they'll grab it expecting your debit card, and they'll look, what is this? And then you just introduce yourself. It's really easy to strike up a conversation, and you'd be surprised at how many times that actually works. You don't have to overthink it. It's pretty simple. You're supposed to be there. They want to see you. So just go in and just make contact with them, give them a business card, introduce yourself, and then just go back and just keep following up. If you can get a business card from them, you can get anything with their email or their contact information, put that stuff in your CRM and then follow up with them that way. You know, let your CRM do the sell for you. So yeah, I mean, let your CRM do all the hard work for you. Let it do all the follow-up emails and stuff like that. What else? So, and again, that's like restaurants and gas stations. Again, I don't do gas stations, but I mean the restaurants that I have, it's pretty much how it's worked out. And then what'll happen too is, you know, I got one Chick-fil-A, and then I picked up the other one because those two franchise owners, you know, they talk back and forth, and you know, a lot of times what they'll end up doing is, even if they're not the same franchise owner, they're still the same industry, and they still want to make sure that they're getting the best service. So, you know, they'll reach out to each other and they'll use each other's vendors and stuff like that. So, yeah, I picked up the other one because, again, that other one just wasn't happy with the service they were getting and reached out, and so I got referred from the company that I was already doing work for. And then you guys can use that to your advantage too. That's another thing you can do is like, that was big for me whenever I would start trying to get more commercial stuff. If I went to another restaurant, go in and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I want a pressure washing business, just interested to see if you guys are interested in getting any kind of commercial work done, and set you guys up on any kind of routine maintenance scheduling, whatever, and I can work you guys in. You know, I'm already currently doing X, Y, Z, and you just kind of rattle off the stuff that you're already doing, because that just kind of shows some more credibility. You know, if you're just like a one-off guy, then you might get dismissed, but just build that rapport and start building up that little, it's almost like a draft sheet of the things that you're already doing, and then you can just kind of present that to people, and then do it in your CRMs. You know, whenever you get that email, start sending them bids, even if they didn't ask for it. If you can get their contact information, just, it's an unsolicited bid. I actually have heard a couple people recommend or refer to it as that. If there is a commercial contract you're trying to get, send them an unsolicited bid. You know, even if it goes to like an admin or something like that, they're getting a proposal. They may think that it's supposed to go to the manager anyways, and they'll just forward it on. You know, so not knowing if the manager asked for it or not, you know, just go ahead and set up a nice proposal, send it on, and then see what happens. If nothing else, it at least gets your name in the door. So, just a little quick tip on commercial stuff. Like I said, it's not anything fancy. It's really just getting out there and just doing small little things to make sure that you're getting your name out there. And a lot of times it's as easy as just, when you get ready to pay at the drive-thru, just hand them your debit card and a business card, and at least starts the conversation, and then just keep following up. So hopefully that helps you guys. So that's not great advice, but it's what I've done. It's what's worked for me. So, you know, get out there and just try different things. That's it.